I have the wonderful pleasure of introducing our first guest for today, that wonderful April 20th day, 2016, Poppy de Garmo. She is a local treasure. She's done many different things. She lives her life as art, and her art is her life. She's a photographer, a chef, and I'm so grateful that you had the time to come up here, Poppy, and we're going to talk about your latest exhibition.
Sounds great.
Poppy de Garmo. I have to tell you, folks, I'm building an archive. I've had hundreds of guests come through Artists on Art. I've been trying to get Poppy on for quite a while, so this is a dream come true. This is a coup for me. I gotcha.
Stop.
Poppy does an annual event called the Townies. It's a photography exhibition of her photographs, something that she's come to recently as far as, all the other things you've done in your life. And if anybody would like to look along and see some of the images that we're talking about, you can go to her website, poppydegarmo.com. That's POPPYDEGARMO.com. You have an exhibition happening April 28th. That's Thursday, April 28th.
Next Thursday.
Week
from tomorrow.
At the Tannery Arts, which is the art center where you have your studio.
Correct.
And your studio is number 119. And Poppy, tell us what people are going to get to see when they come to your exhibition. Townies.
Well, I'm not going to tell you everything they get to see because sometimes it's a surprise who I've chosen. I'll tell you a little history about the exhibition. When I was living up in Ben Lomond, I moved down to Santa Cruz, and I had my first studio. I'd been, of course, doing photography for many years, but my first studio, and I needed to meet people in town. And I thought, I need to find interesting people that are important so I can have a party. I can take their photos, mount them, have a party, and have them invite all their friends because I was so nervous that no one would show up. So that's really how it started. It was a real kind of a marketing thing. I wanted to know who people were. And so that's what I did. I picked up the phone and called people.
Ingenious. That's how I make friends, is I'd say, hey, come on my radio show.
Exactly.
Everybody wants to have their picture taken, right?
Of course. I just did that last week with a friend I hadn't seen for years. I said, come by the studio next Friday at noon, and we'll do your portrait. So we caught up.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
So it's more than just getting your picture taken. It's connecting.
It's connecting, yes. It's connecting. And it's evolved. As I said, the first one was really about learning who people were in town and learning to know who people were and practicing my photography because I was actually new to the studio. Now it's changed a little bit. Last year I did Townies Farmers, which were different farmers, organic farmers in the town here and up in Davenport, things that I'm interested in, food. And this year I have a great group, but I've chosen the portraits more for the quality of the portrait than for the person. Even though all the people are very, very important, my portraits, I like them to be kind of edgy and interesting. So whoever I caught in that sort of situation and however I, quote unquote, developed it on the computer is those are the portraits that I've chosen.
So you have a wonderful history of experiences. You've worked in the film industry. You have been a caterer, a chef, and you decided, well, how did you get to photography other than having the parties and that kind of thing? But so you've had your studio for 3 years at the Tannery Arts, 3 years before that. Usually people open up a studio as photographers when they're serious.
Well, I started when I was 14. Yeah, so I was kind of serious. And I actually went to Hampshire College and studied with Diane Arbus and Lee Friedlander.
What was that like?
That was incredible, but I was really young and I didn't, I wasn't very conscious, and I was just, I was 18 years old. So I didn't really know what was going on, but it definitely had an impression.
Well, I can only imagine that Diane Arbus would be an impression. What do you remember learning from her?
I remember learning from her to have people become still we used to practice about, being able to have your subject relax. And she was a great talker. People might not know that about her. So she would talk to people, and that's kind of something I do to get people to relax, ask them questions about themselves. I'm actually interested, so it works. But you have to get the people to relax and just chill out and make it kind of calm.
You're listening to Poppy de Garmo talking about her photography that she started as a very young person and has recently, in the recent past, in the new millennium, has a studio now. And she's going to have an exhibition April 28th. You'll be able to come to her studio and see her work and talk to her. It's interesting you bring up Diane Arbus because your photography has a feeling of that. There's I don't want to say old-fashioned-y kind of feel to it, but it gives the feeling of the past. Is that something that is in your...
I think so, because I started with film, and I still use film once in a while. I have a medium format camera that I use film with. And I like the look of film. I like the feeling of the depth of it, which is why I like black and white also.
So a lot of your work is in black and white?
Yeah, most of my work that I show is in black and white. I do have some color. And of course, when I do people's headshots, I give them both color and black and white because people want to have color for certain events or websites.
Like their profile picture?
Right, for Facebook or
LinkedIn and all that.
Match.com.
Oh, there you go. Tinder. We're there. And so, Poppy, you started the Townies. Mm-hmm. It's gotten bigger.
It has.
It's evolved in a real interesting way. You've had some pretty big exhibitions. What was yours last year?
Last year was a little bit smaller, just because there was a lot of stuff going on. So I did the Townies Farmers last year. Yeah.
And then this year it's going to be at the Tannery.
At the Tannery.
Tannery Arts.
Yep.
And you're already looking ahead. You're almost completely got this in the can. So what's happening next?
Well, for next year's Townies, I have applied for a grant because I want to experiment with a new kind of camera. I also do some cooking at the Homeless Garden once a week, and I've met a lot of interesting people there. It's a wonderful program, and these are people that are not doing well in their lives but taking a step to do better, and they're learning about farming, and they'll be able to get jobs in farming, and I want to take pictures of them for Townies next year.
Huh.
Yeah.
How did you get involved with the Homeless Garden? And tell us just a little bit about it. Maybe someone who's listening has never heard about the Homeless Garden.
Oh, well, the Homeless Garden is a program for homeless people to sign up and learn about gardening and to be able to get a job. I mean, that's the whole idea. And the way that I got involved was actually at one of my cooking classes that I teach at Gray Bears. One of the people that teaches that cooks at Homeless Garden came to one of my classes and asked me if I'd want to help out one day a week. So that's what I do.
How long have you been doing that?
Just a few months.
Oh, okay. So that's new.
That's
but the Gray
new.
Bears, you've been teaching classes there?
Yeah, about a year or so. Yeah, just once a month. That's a lot of fun.
And tell us what that's like.
Well, I mean, we have to remember that Gray Bears is 55 plus. So there are some people that are really old. But there are a lot of people that are really in their 50s or early 60s and just interested about cooking, and it's a free class. It's once a month on the third Saturday of the month, or is it the fourth Saturday? Third Saturday, maybe fourth. I have to. Well, you can look it up on their website, graybears.org, and it's just a lot of fun.
And are you still doing catering? Is that also...
A little bit? Yep. After doing it for 25 years, I kind of decided to scale back a little bit. But I am catering a wedding for a very good friend in June, and I work privately with clients.
So you used to have a commercial kitchen in Ben Lomond?
Yes, I did.
And so you've let that go?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
So tell us more about your process of how you pick your pictures and.
Well, the process. Sometimes I think I have no idea what I'm doing. So the process is...
Even though you've been doing it for a long time.
I know, but the process for choosing who... I don't know. People come to me, or people come through my life, and I choose them. to photograph. Some of them are people that are asking for a headshot and they're actually paying me to do that. And then I see the photographs after I've taken them and I see something that I really like. Some of them are people that I just want to photograph, and sometimes I have to take them a few times, just like you. I said, you have to come back because I need to get what I'm looking for, and I don't always know what that is. So I'm not sure if that answers your question because it kind of is a circuitous answer.
Well, it is interesting. If we want to do a full disclosure, I'm going to be in, well, maybe, if you choose.
You're in. You're in.
I'm in. I made the final cut, folks. So you'll have a portrait in your installation, your exhibition of me. And so one of the things that you wanted from me that's different is that I kind of have a perma smile. I feel very blessed and happy to be alive, and so I smile a lot. And you really wanted to get me not smiling, which was hard for me.
It was.
Yeah, it was funny.
Yeah, all of your pictures are smiling, and they're great. But yes, so I got a really great picture of you not smiling. I think.
Yeah, well, we had to try it twice.
We did. She had to come back because she wouldn't stop smiling.
It's not often you have that kind of challenge, but yeah. So you're looking for something that you don't normally see in people. Like you're looking to catch something that perhaps is harder to find, harder to see,
and harder to see today. I mean, there's just so many photographers out there, and there's so many portraits and so many headshots and just kind of basic looks. I'm going for something else, and as I said, I don't always know what it is, but I know what it is when I see it.
Yeah. I also have in my mind's eye so many of your other photography. There was a gallery space on Pacific Avenue upstairs in the attic, and I saw some of your painting photographies. Is that right? Where?
Well, it was the one that had the 6 images.
Yes.
Yeah, that actually I did. I had taken a class at Cabrillo on iPhone photography, and that was actually an app that I took a photo of a photo on my iPhone, and then there was an app that I used, and then I had it printed like that because I needed something big. So that's really what that was. It all comes to me.
And it's a wide variety. Also, I see a lot of landscapes that you've done.
I'm starting to do more landscapes, yeah. I'm doing some, I had 3 of my seascapes at the Blitzer Gallery last month for the Catamaran exhibit.
Which means you were in the Catamaran.
Yes.
And the Catamaran is a literary magazine that is published here out of the Tannery Arts Center, actually,
Correct.
by Catherine Segerson. And so she brings together, she and her staff, of course, bring together poetry and prose with images. And you were a part of that.
Yes. I've been in the magazine twice. Which is nice.
Yeah, it's an honor.
But these seascapes are more not what you normally see. It's a series that I call horizontal, and it's just the ocean with the line of fog and then the sky, and it almost looks like a Rothko.
Yeah. It has a very painterly feeling to it.
Some of them are blurry too.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, so you're talking earlier about how you want your photography to not be completely polished, that you want it to be rough and raggedy at the edges, kind of, but not really. But that's kind of how I think.
Kind of. And then I went to a show 2 weeks ago in San Francisco, Annie Leibowitz's traveling portrait show, and I was really pleasantly surprised at the wall of photos she had up. Not only were they stuck to the wall with push pins, but they were all different sizes, and she actually, the string that you put up to make sure everything's straight, the strings were still up.
Oh, so sweet.
It was great, because the process is important.
Yeah. And so Annie Leibovitz is at the Christie Field. She's in the Fort Mason.
Exactly.
So it's in a kind of not a gallery.
Oh, it's not a gallery, and the lights were out. I mean, it was hysterical. And you couldn't buy anything. Nothing for sale.
And it's all women.
All women, yeah. Yeah.
Do you know when it ends? Because I really want to see that show.
I think it ends very soon, and it's sold out. But you can get in.
Oh, okay.
You can push your way in.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't that. You can get in.
Poppy de Garmo, she is here in the house at KZSC talking to us about her upcoming exhibition, Townies, happening Thursday, April 28th. Thursday, April 28th, at her studio, which is in the Tannery Arts Center, number 119. What time should people come?
It's between 5 and 8, and I will have a DJ there.
Oh,
coming down from San
special.
Francisco. Somebody very special. DJ Fox.
DJ Fox. And so, what time?
5 to 8.
5 to 8.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And then if you want to see more of Poppy's wonderful, wonderful artwork, you can go to poppydegarmo.com. So, Poppy, you've got the homeless kind of project already formulating in your mind for next year's Townies. You have this exhibition. What else is going on?
Well, I am going to work on some more landscapes, not seascapes, more kind of a blurry look landscape. So I'm scouting those places out right now.
All right. So you might be seeing her out there in the wild, in the nature. Poppy de Garmo. Poppy, I hope you can come back on the next time you have something you want to promote. And I hope that you get a real good amount of people coming out to see your wonderful Townies. It's a great show. Poppy, you do beautiful work.
Thank you, Nana.
I want to thank you, and I hope we can collaborate in the future.
I know we will.